Swimming like a shark in a shrimp tank. Big fish, small pond in the shrimp tank.
Welcome to the post-show wrap-up of the Shrimp Tank. I'm Brad Berger, along with my co-host J.B. Wilson. And our guest today is Ryan Knicely with Windermere Abode. We just had an intriguing and fun conversation with Ryan. To listen to the entire podcast, visit seattle.shrimptankpodcast.com or through iHeartRadio. You can still subscribe to our podcast on iTunes, and we're always interested in your feedback, so please do not forget to rate us. So Ryan, you know, I was really interested. Your entire story is definitely why our listeners need to listen to the podcast. But I'd like you to kind of share how you went from essentially a secure, stable job to the leap into entrepreneurship and how you've gotten to the amazing place that you've gotten to today.
Yeah, sure. So I would say we talked about the funding aspect of this, right? I mean, we talked about making sure that you are financially ready for a significant life change. And the second thing that I would point out that I would have to disclose is I had lots of help from really close friends in that office. So taking and receiving help is definitely something that helped me. But I think the last thing that I would say that I did when I first started, especially, was I showed up every single day. I tried to look as sharp as I possibly could have, and I got in there in the morning, and I didn't leave until the afternoon or the evening. So I showed up, which is going to be something that I think every entrepreneur that starts is going to have to do. And I think most people would say, well, yeah, duh, but when you're in that second or third month and you don't have you're not bearing any fruit financially, you can begin to really doubt, hey, was this such a good idea? Maybe I should start looking for something else. But battling through that and continuing to show up is really, really important.
So Ryan, one of the things that we talked about on the podcast and that we've seen time and time again from our business owners that we interview is there's certain qualities and characteristics that individuals have when they're either thinking about making that leap or they're just starting down that journey of entrepreneurship. So what are some of the key one or two aspects that individuals who are on the fence and they haven't yet pulled the trigger from doing that stable job to, what are some of the things they need to be thinking about or characteristics or qualities that they may need to have?
Yeah, sure. So I would say for the most part, I would say, do you like to work with people? Right? Do you like people? And if you don't particularly love working with people, does that really make sense for the business that you are starting? I'm sure there are some businesses where that makes sense, but I think for the most part, you're going to be working with people, with customers, with clients, with consumers. And so for me, I said, do I really like working with people? And I said, yeah, I do. So I definitely think that's one thing that you should be thinking about. Do I like working with people? And maybe you also need to ask, do people like working with me?
Yeah. and sometimes maybe hard to know. But,
yes.
So, Ryan, the thing that we talked about was social media and the importance that it plays, especially as it plays for Windermere Abode. So could you share with our audience a little bit about what you're doing in that space?
Wow. Yeah. So the world of social media can be one, I think, where it's really easy to get bogged down in the details, right? So I know one big conversation that agents have a lot is, do I need a personal social media account and a business account? Do I need to mesh the two? Like what do I need to do? And I think, man, you just need to get out there and do it, right? I mean, whether it's on your business page or your personal page, are you doing something that's authentic to you, right? So for me, in my social media platforms, I just want to be authentic to people, right? So I'm not going to be saying, hey, I closed a house today and made this much money. Like, to me, like that wouldn't connect with me if I saw it. And so for me, like, I just want to be as authentic as possible. And hopefully people are being drawn to that. So authenticity is huge, but then also a plan, right? So I have planned for the next 30 days what I'm posting on social media. And I've literally got it written down, because if I don't do that, Thursday is going to happen. I'm not going to have any ideas, and you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to check out. I'm going to say, all right, I'll post. I'll post on Friday, and I'll miss Thursday. Then I'll miss Friday.
Right.
If I don't have a plan, I'm not going to be able to execute it.
Okay.
So on that social media theme, Ryan, once again, we just want to thank you for joining us. How can people, whether it's on social media or otherwise, get in touch with you and find out more about what you do?
So I have two preferred ways that people can look me up. Number one, they can go on my Instagram page. So my Instagram account is the thing that I post most consistently to. If you went on today, you would know that I'm having a baby girl in September, and I'm so excited. But that account will let you know who I am, right? And so you can get a feel for who I am just by looking at that page. The other way you can get a hold of me is just an old-fashioned telephone call, right? So you can call 253-343-4049, and you're going to get me, and we're going to be able to chat. And those are my two most favorite ways that I begin relationships with clients.
Great.
Yeah.
Well, this is just a taste of what you can expect from the energy from Ryan by listening to the entire podcast. Visit seattle.shrimptankpodcast.com or listen to us on iHeartRadio. You can also subscribe to our podcast on iTunes. We'd love to hear from you, and please do not forget to rate us.
Our next show from the Business Accelerant Studio will be Wednesday, March 20th, so join us then. But for now, the hay's in the barn.
I've been feeling like a shark in a shrimp tank. Big fish, small pond in the shrimp.